Isaac Newton was an English mathematician, physicist, and astronomer who is widely recognized as one of the most influential scientists in history. Born in 1643, he was a central figure in the scientific revolution of the 17th century. His work laid the foundations for classical mechanics and fundamentally changed how humanity understood the physical universe. Newton's early life was marked by isolation and instability. His father died before he was born, and his mother remarried when he was 3, leaving him with his grandmother. This separation contributed to a solitary nature that persisted throughout his life. Although his family expected him to manage their farm, he showed little aptitude for rural life and eventually enrolled at the University of Cambridge. In 1665, an outbreak of the bubonic plague forced the university to close, sending Newton back to his childhood home for 2 years. During this period of solitude, he developed the core ideas of his major theories on calculus, optics, and gravity. His contributions to science began with light. At the time, scholars believed that prisms colored light, but Newton demonstrated that a prism merely separates white light into a visible spectrum of colors. He proved that white light is a mixture of all colors, and that color is an intrinsic property of light itself. To apply this finding, he invented the reflecting telescope, which used mirrors rather than lenses to avoid the color distortion found in early refracting telescopes. Newton's most significant work, the Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica, was published in 1687. In this text, he formulated the 3 laws of motion, stating that objects move based on forces, including the famous principle that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. These laws established a comprehensive system for analyzing the movement of physical objects. Within the Principia, Newton also introduced the law of universal gravitation. He proposed that every mass attracts every other mass in the universe, unifying celestial and terrestrial physics. This insight showed that the force pulling an apple to the ground is the same one keeping the moon in orbit. His mathematical framework explained planetary movements with unprecedented precision. Despite his scientific rationality, Newton was a complex and often difficult figure. He engaged in a bitter, lifelong feud with the German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz over who invented calculus first. Historians now agree that both men developed the mathematical method independently, though they used different notations. Furthermore, Newton spent more years studying alchemy and biblical theology than physics. He wrote extensively on prophecy and held religious views that rejected the doctrine of the Trinity, beliefs he kept secret to protect his career. Today, Newton represents the shift toward a deterministic view of the universe, often compared to a clockwork mechanism governed by precise mathematical laws. While Albert Einstein's theory of relativity later expanded upon his work, Newton's physics remains accurate for most everyday applications. He died in 1727 and was the first scientist buried in Westminster Abbey. His legacy endures as the architect of the modern scientific method.